Hey, good day, good day. Welcome to Robert Brown, and welcome to another episode of Rob Report on the Go. How you doing today? We are deeply into the still going through the little Senate hearing on the impeachment. The Democrats have to do they did as much as they could. They finally got Trump impeached, but they're going to try to come in and try to take over the Senate show by bringing in their so-called monitors. You know something about monitors? Monitors just do what? Monitor. You get a monitor. For an example, I'm not a fan of credit card monitoring. Why? Call it all it do is monitoring. It doesn't stop the thief. It just lets you know that the thief has stolen your credit. They're not going to do anything to correct it. They're not going to take the time to catch the thief. They expect you to go to the authorities. So what am I paying you for? Monitors just monitor. The same thing with ADP and all that. If you got an ADP monitoring service and they're not going to alert the authorities to fix the situation, what's the use of them monitoring? And what's the use of these House Democrats monitoring the situation? At the end of the day, the votes are not there. And you can try to shame them to use that as a political tool to whip them in the election, but it's just going to backfire. Let's take a look at something real quick. You say Graham vows Biden/Ukraine probe after impeachment trial. Now, I've always said this, that you need to at least probe into it. Look into it. But let's see what Graham got to say. Now, I don't know if this will play through, so I'm not even going to try. All right, so we're not going to listen to Graham on this. But let's take a look at this. Say Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham said Friday that someone should investigate the Bidens in Ukraine after the impeachment trial and pledge he will if an outside counsel doesn't step forward. So he's asking an independent outside counsel look into it. And I say they should because this is damning evidence. Joe Big Mouth Biden can't keep his big mouth closed. He just got to flaunt who he is and don't expect to be called out on it. And if you do, shame on you. Well, he was called out on it because he is on video, and I went through this through various shows, of him confessing how he took his power, held back money from Ukraine in exchange for a favor to get a prosecutor fired that was investigating the company which his son and Nancy Pelosi's son sits on the board of. Now, the crime isn't the nepotism. It should be a crime. The nepotism and favoritism should be a crime. Joe Biden using his power to get his son a job and all that. But that's besides the point. The real crime is there's aid that need to go to this country. It was approved, guaranteed, as Biden said, but he was holding it back because the prosecutor was not fired. And he was saying, until he's gone, you're not getting the money. So that looks like, and it seems like, and it's pretty much an abuse of power. You're using your power to hold money over the head of a country to get something what you want. Yeah, they're trying to charge Trump for that. They're trying to impeach him for that. So yes, Lindsey Graham should investigate that if somebody's not going to do it. See, shame on you to investigate in our crimes. Shame on you to talk about investigating our crime. You should be with us investigating Trump crimes. I'm with investigating all you son of a guns. But let me keep going. Nobody has done an investigation anywhere near like the Mueller investigation on the Bidens. And I think they should. And when this is over, the Congress will do it. If we can't have an outside entity do it, Graham told the reporters. Graham stressed that he would like somebody outside of politics to lead the investigation. Why? Because it wouldn't be biased. So if both of them can get together, the House and Senate, to agree on a bipartisan organization to lead this investigation, fine. But the problem is the House is not going to want to investigate in Biden because they're hacks. Just like the Republicans not going to want investigating into Trump because they're hacks. Me investigate. That's why I need to be an independent, nonpartisan organization to look into Trump. Just like the Democrats said Mueller was independent and nonpartisan. And once the favor didn't go their way, they try to claim he's partisan. I mean, sometimes you can't with some of these people. Now, it's important as Americans that you don't take sides. I think they're crooks on both sides. I'm not Bernie Sanders that's going to say something that's dumb, that Joe Biden's my friend, Joe Biden is not corrupt. Look, you got family members, you don't know if they're corrupt or not. So who gave you the right to say that about Joe Biden? Oh, he's my good friend? Oh, just because he's your good friend, don't mean your good friend is not corrupt. Let's keep going. You know why I don't want to do it? I love Joe Biden. I don't want to do this, Graham said before adding, I don't want to be the Lindsey Graham because it will be hard for me, but if I have to, I will do it. Now, let me tell you something. I do believe Lindsey Graham. Joe Biden and Lindsey Graham been in the Senate for a long time. Most of these politicians on Capitol Hill, they may differ in ideology, but they have worked a lot screwing the people, both Democrats and Republicans. Both of them has teamed up to screw the people. Both of them. Lindsey Graham and Biden team up to screw the people. Biden being the right-wing Democrat / lightweight Republican, he is. Him and Lindsey Graham go way back. So I believe Lindsey Graham. Bad enough, Lindsey Graham lost his good friend. Who wants to investigate their friend? So he's saying, look, I'll look into this. But at the end of the day, Lindsey Graham is going to placate to what the Republican base want. And the Republican base want this thing to be listened to. The independent base need to have this thing looked into. And Democrats need to be open to have Biden looked into. He's not above the law. Just like you said, Trump is not above the law. Biden's not above the law. It need to be investigated. But they're going to fight that because it could lead to killing Obama's legacy. Because according to Joe Biden, Obama gave him the okay. It's just like according to Hillary Clinton, Obama gave her the okay to murder Gaddafi, to assassinate Gaddafi. But let's keep going. Republicans have seized on Hunter Biden's work for Burisma. It's not the point about Hunter Biden's working for Burisma. It's the fact that Burisma was being investigated and Hunter Biden and I believe Nancy Pelosi's son sat on the board. And because any parent will want to protect their son, they'll do whatever they need to do to protect it, even illegal means. Did Joe Biden use illegal means to get his son protected? Because that's about the only job he's going to get. I mean, with the amount of cocaine that's in his bloodstream and being in Ukraine, he can't get a job here in the United States like that because of his cocaine and whoring habits. He's going to find himself in jail. But hey, I go to Ukraine, I can do that all I want. Mind you, he sits on the board making $50,000 a month. He don't have to go to work every day. Usually you just attend board meetings and you talk about the goals for the next 90 days, maybe 1 month, 30 to 90 days. And you all close out the board meeting and you go back to your prospective location. In his case, I'm going to stick around another week and give me some Ukrainian prostitutes and I'm going to snort some Ukrainian cocaine. Ain't nothing like that Ukrainian cocaine. Colombia ain't got none on Ukrainian cocaine. Let me stop that. Republicans have seized on Hunter Biden's work for Burisma, a Ukrainian gas company, and Joe Biden's push for the dismissal of Ukrainian prosecutor General Victor Shokin because of concerns he was overlooking corruption into his own office as they sought to defend President Trump's action with Ukraine. There's no evidence that Biden was acting with his son's interests in mind when he pushed Shokin's dismissal. How can you say that when there's a video of him confessing, making a bold, brash statement with confidence and cockiness and arrogance about his power to control and make things happen? There's no evidence that Biden was acting with his son's interests in mind when he pushed for Shokin's dismissal, a position that reflected the views of the Obama administration and U.S. allies in Europe. The former vice president has denied doing so, with the GOP claims that have been debunked by fact checkers. What fact checkers? Just because somebody say fact checkers have debunked this doesn't mean it's true. Who's fact checking the fact checkers? Why are we assuming fact checkers are credible sources? The only way this thing can be done is through an investigation. Screw the fact checkers. You cannot base whether a crime was committed or not by fact checkers. The GOP feuded with the Bidens have loomed over Trump's impeachment trial, as the House manager have repeatedly mentioned them as they presented their case during the last few days. Of course, because the whole basis of this impeachment was the fact that Trump was looking into the crimes of Joe Biden when it came to his son working at Burisma. It wasn't necessarily his son sitting on the board of Burisma that was the motive. It was the fact that there was Ukrainian money that was supposed to be given to the Ukrainian people, and it was held back in exchange to get the prosecutor fired, who was looking into corruption of Burisma, which Pelosi and Biden's son sits on the board of. They just happened to sit on the board of because of their qualifications, their stellar record. Republicans had pointed out to the decision as evidence that Hunter Biden and potentially the former vice president need to be called, and sparking a constant round of questions for the Senate Democrats. And I believe that too. They should be called to the stand because this whole thing came from that motive. They said the reason that Trump heard about this thing and he wanted to get the dirt on it. But like I said, you can't call it dirt. It's not like he's trying to get dirt. You can't get dirt on something that already got dirt on it. And as this situation is a dirty situation, you can't accuse that man of getting dirt on the opponent. You only can accuse him of doing what he said he was going to do, drain the swamp. But like I said, it's hard to be a swamp creature and drain the swamp, because once the water is gone, how are you going to survive? Because you're the biggest swamp creature of them all. But let's keep going. Talk about the Bidens will likely escalate on Saturday with Jay Sekulow. Jay Sekulow is a good attorney. I know Jay Sekulow personal, and I am an independent who have leaned Democrat. He's a member of Trump's legal team, indicating that they will, and Jay Sekulow, Jewish guy, and he's fought cases for people of all colors. And he's fought cases that's pro bono. So I'm not going down Jay Sekulow. A member of Trump legal's team, indicating that they will feature in the defense strategy during the impeachment trial. Trump team is set to begin the defense on Saturday. Believe me, you'll hear about that issue too, Sekulow said. So the bottom line is this. See, this whole thing could have been squashed if the House would have got real stickable, real deal high crimes and misdemeanor. Looking into your opponent for dirt has never been a crime, because that's what politicians do. But he was looking into corruption in the Obama-Biden administration that nobody would have never heard about until Biden opened up his big black mouth and bragged about it, cocky and arrogantly about it. Well, son of a, he was fired. Why was he fired? Because I didn't give him money. See, I cannot wait. See, I will tune in the day that Biden and Hunter Biden hit the stand and Jay Sekulow get at him. I will be rooting for that. Because I know Jay Sekulow. Jay Sekulow he's about a book type of guy. Okay? But, and I know some of you may not agree, but look, Jay Sekulow, he represents a lot of people in Virginia Beach where I'm from. I've seen Jay Sekulow. That's why I can't talk about Bobby Scott versus Ford, because Bobby Scott didn't do nothing for the black community, but Ford, who's happened to be a rich billionaire, have put a lot of money into the black community, have put his resources and time in the black community in Virginia, and Bobby Scott have not. So, like I said, I'm not taking sides. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It don't matter. I don't do this tribalism, partyism type stuff. I don't do that. So on that day, when they call in Joe Biden, and they call in Hunter Biden, I want to hear the responses, because your video you put your foot in your mouth and your butt when you braggadociously, which you can't stop doing because you're white supremacist, cocky, arrogant white supremacist. You bragged about how you did those people. I can't wait. Had the House not sought to seek him on these charges and rush this thing and get him on the smallest charges they can, and this is small, it want to go through the Senate. See, they're hoping that it'll go to the Senate and the Republicans going to side with you, no matter how much you try to do this storytelling tale of Adam Schiff, which friends of mine think, oh, he did a good job. Man, that was so freaking whack. I mean, everybody knows Schiff have lost it. You know, a couple of cells are gone in his brain. This guy don't like Trump. And see, the thing is, you got to have people who are bipartisan dealing with this stuff. You can't have people that are partisan hacks push these things. Jerry Nadler and they all hate this guy. And you can't have hate oversee court decisions. It's like me going to a judge that can't stand my guts. Guess what? I'm going to jail again. I need somebody that's going to be bipartisan. Same thing when you go to court and you have to deal with a trial or a jury. There got to be a jury of your peers, and and they're not affiliated to you. They can't be friends of yours and things like that. And they ask you questions on how you feel about it, how you feel about that, and then they test to see whether you're going to stay on the trial or not, because they want it fair. And what the House did was not fair. It just wasn't. There are real impeachable charges on Trump. They just too much of a punk to charge him on it because they're just as guilty of those same charges. Now, going to this, the bottom line is this. It's over with those guys. Now this thing is going to the Senate. The Senate is in the lead. They're gonna let this guy's not gonna get convicted. So you can talk about Adam Schiff and all that. You could call it a cover up, all that. It is what it is. It's not how you gonna call it a cover up. You're bringing a man to get removed from office on false, dumb charges that have no merit. I went over the documents and I said, there's no merit to this. Go to something that has some merit. I'm telling you where to go where there has some merit. Take those charges, because now you got the Senate have no choice but to side with you on these things, because this is clearly a violation of the Constitution, because it's bold and printed in the Constitution. But this mess is not a violation of the Constitution. It's not. You're just looking for anything to get this guy out of office on. So I'm always about fairness. So this is fair play. You get this guy on the Senate stand, and now Joe Biden's going to be made a mockery. You think having this trial and having Joe Biden on the trail and taking Sanders off, taking Warren off, taking Klobuchar off, the Senate trail is going to help Biden numbers go up? No, because Biden's going to have to get off the trail and he's going to have to go get questioned, him and Hunter. And when it's all said and done, Biden's going to be looked into, and there will be investigations on Biden while he's running for office. The same thing with Hillary Clinton. And we got to deal with this for the next 4-5 months, 8 months. Thank you. Thank you, Democrats. Because you clearly continue to prove that you don't want to win. You don't want to win in November. This, what you're doing to Trump, this witch hunt, is helping Trump. It's helping his base. And it's helping turn off independents from supporting you. Because to a lot of independents, this is a witch hunt, and they're not going to come to your side. Hell, you're losing Democrats doing this. At the same time, you trying to run this thing through and try to get him out of office. All you did was impeach him. All he got is impeachment on his record, but he still can run next year. He's going to be exonerated. And what you did is set yourself up to open up a whole stream of people to be investigated because of abuse of power. You guys are really, really smart. You're exactly what the country needs, right? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. You just keep putting your own foot in your behind, keep shooting yourself in the foot in the behind. And it's ridiculous, man. I thought the Republican Party was bad. You guys are just on a whole nother level of dumbness. Tom Perez and all you guys, man, y'all need an overhaul, man. Y'all need to be, I don't know. Y'all just need to be broken down from the ground on up, or just start another party. I'm all for a new party. All right, I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report. I'll holler at you later. Rob Report on the go. I'll holler at you later. I'm going to get me some Chinese food. General Tasso, extra sweet, with plenty of broccoli in it. All right, I'll holler at you later. Bye-bye.